You've heard the song. We all have. The haunting melody is a reminder to all what happens when you cross a Lannister. In this video, I'm going to show you how to restore the now extinct House of Reyne, and why this is a playthrough that is fun, immersive, and probably one of the best in the game at present. House Reyne bore the lion like the Lannisters, and was their equal in wealth and power at times in the history of the Westerlands. Their holding of Castamere was next to a series of large and wealthy caves and mines, from which gold and silver flowed in great amounts. They are an ancient house descended from the Firstmen, and were originally such a powerful house it took a marriage instead of war to get them to become vassals of the Lannisters. Their fortunes have been good ever since, up until very recent times. In the time of Tywin Lannister's grandfather, the Reynes had an especially sought-after and ambitious daughter, Helen Castamere, who married into the ruling family of the Lannisters and became so powerful in Casterly Rock, she was the lady there in all but name. Ambitious beyond belief, it said she sought after all of it herself, and for her family to rule in the stead of the Golden Lion. With the death of her husband, things changed, and Titus Lannister took power instead, the father of Tywin. Despite being a very weak man and poor ruler, he would not come under her sway due to an unsuccessful attempt to screw him. Banished from court and without their influence, it waned with time, and so did their power. This would not last for long, as Lord Roger Reyne, a very capable man, continued to grow in power and wealth under Titus's poor rule. The Lord of Castamere was so powerful in this time that he and his allies, the Tarbecks, started outright demanding more land, almost getting themselves arrested for it. After killing all the men sent after Roger Reyne, he simply forced Titus to back down. They not only took more than their fair share of gold and paid a few taxes, but loaned great sums from the Lannisters and refused to pay it back. Unfortunately, this was in the time when Tywin Lannister was becoming the man we all know him now to be. Attempting to arrest them for their actions several times, he eventually made a formal demand, resulting in House Reyne and House Tarbeck rising up against them. Tywin had prepared for this already and had his army mobilized and waiting. Without giving either the time to prepare, he first slaughtered the Tarbecks and destroyed their keep before heading towards Castamere. The battle there was more even, but the Lannisters had far more troops and won the battle without much struggle. Hiding alongside the rest of his family and remaining soldiers in the caves below Castamere, Roger Reyne tried to ask for terms, but received no reply. Instead, Tywin Lannister simply blocked up the caves and diverted a river into them, drowning everyone inside. This is why House Reyne is no more. They are all dead. So why am I asking you to play them? Well, the main branch of the family is gone, but House Vikary is not. They are a cadet branch of the family, which had the ability to restore the title of Reyne and take revenge on those who have fallen. You start out with an extremely humble possession, and will have to scheme and strive for anything. This is not an easy playthrough by any means, but the ability to put Lannister into the grave like they did to your own family is a tempting one. Lord Lyman is the ruler, and only 29 years old. His traits are randomized, so you don't know what kind of game you're going to get. Given the Reyne Revolt was in 261, he would have been 7 when the other branch of his family was completely wiped out. You will also have 4 kids who are randomized, so the chances of House Vikary getting wiped out early are not the worst. The title of Vikary House, the one singular holding you own, is a weak one and extremely poor. You will struggle for money and have very few soldiers in your command. This game will be about plotting, building up, and taking an opportunity you have to grow your power, biding your time, and waiting for revenge. The first thing you need to do to proceed forward is gaining your family's old titles. Castamere was a large holding, which includes the lands you can see here. You will need to get both the holding of Castamere itself, which is now ruined, and the title of High Lordship of Castamere. This will be no easy task, so it will probably take you quite a while. As you have both, the option to restore House Reyne becomes available, and you will formally switch to the old house, taking on their traditions and legacy, which will be the first step towards revenge and vindication. When this is done, you will be able to actually rebuild Castamere. It's a little buggy, so be warned and get a save after becoming House Reyne. To restore the ruins, you need 400 gold. Click on the province, and then click on the empty portrait on the bottom left, which will give you some great flavor text and the option to rebuild it. This will restore the holding itself, though the flooded ruins and castle itself will have to be repaired and restored to formally bring back the great subterranean fortress to its former glory. From here, the path is really yours, but the obvious one is revenge. This is Game of Thrones after all. There can only be one lion, it seems, and the gold cannot remain. Hopefully this video inspired you to have a fun playthrough. In my opinion, this is the best start available in this mod right now, and is as immersive as it is fulfilling. I'll be putting out more videos like this, as well as roleplay videos for the mod itself, so feel free to check those out. I'm Hammurabae, and I will check you later.